Alright, hi, my name's Alan. I'm going to be showing you your new Coleman travel trailer. So starting off front, this is a 2 5/16 inch ball. If you forget that, it's right here stamped in the A-frame. With this guy, up and back, we're able to get the ball underneath there. When we get the ball there, slide it forward, and then we're locked into place. Okay, and we have our safety chains right here. So we come down here, this is our pivot point form. So we always have to cross our chains, so that way if we come unhooked from the vehicle, the chains will be resting in the saddle right here. This cable right here, if you follow that back, it comes down here. So this is our safety breakaway cable. So we have to have this end attached to the vehicle. So if we come unhooked from the vehicle, it'll pull out this little white pin right here, and that'll lock up our trailer brake so this isn't rolling down the highway at 60 miles an hour. So we have our standard 7-way cable. This gives us our brake lights, our turn lights, and charges up our onboard battery. So with that being said, if you guys stop at a truck stop, get a couple hours of sleep, disconnect this from the vehicle. And then we have our electric tongue jack right here. On the left-hand switch, we have on and off. That's just for our little hitching light down below. And then on the right side, we have up and down, so no more cranking. This guy is run off our onboard battery, or if our battery should be dead, let's run off our 7-way cable. And right here, we have our 2 propane tanks that were filled up today. And this guy's our propane regulator. So whichever way this indicator is facing is the tank we're drawing from. So right now it's facing this way, so we're using this tank. So make sure that's open. Yep. When this tank runs out, you just move that indicator to the other tank. And then when this tank does run out, you close it up, take the hose off, and then you take this wing nut, take that off, take this regulator off and this bar off. After that, then you're free and you can go down to the gas station or Walmart and swap them out. There are only a couple things on here that use propane: our stovetop, our heater, and our water heater. Those are the only things that use propane on here. Right here in this black box, we have our standard RV marine grade deep cycle battery. This guy should last you about 5 years before needing to be replaced. And one of the cool things about these Colemans is down here, that's a connection for solar panels to charge up our battery. Alright, and then if you want to come over here, David, we have one spot for our VIN location, and that's going to be right here. So here's one stamped in metal, and we also have another spot right here. So we have to know the VIN if we have to order anything. So if anything goes wrong with the RV, we need to know the VIN. Right? Right here's the day it left the factory, just under a year old, just over a year old. Right here's our unloaded vehicle weight, our dry weight, our GVWR, gross vehicle weight rating at 8,800 pounds, our axle weight, and then our tire size, rim size, and tire pressure. We also have our tire size and tire pressure right here. All right. We have our storage compartment that goes all the way through. And then right here's like a water center. So when we're at an RV park and we have a water hose, we hook it into the city water connection and we screw this guy on counterclockwise. And then we can run water and that goes straight to our water faucets inside. Right now we have water in our fresh water tank, so that way I can make sure your tank holds water properly. Right in here we have an exterior spray port. So there's a blue coiled hose on the other side of the compartment. And one side of that just clicks straight in here, and so you can spray off your boots, spray the dog, whatever you need the extra water for. If the RV park has cable, we tie it in right here, and then it goes straight to our TV spot inside. And then we have some outdoor power outlets. Our slide out, we control inside. There's a button inside that brings it in and out. And right here's your power cord. This is a standard RV 30 amp power cord. So if you find the L, match it up with this bottom one. That's the L one. So you match them up, push in, and then twist clockwise, and then we're in place. When you see this blue light, you know you have power. And then this little black lock right there, that's just our water lock, so we don't get any water mixing with our electricity. All right, so this is the nasty part about owning an RV. Our black tank and our gray tank. So if we look down here, our black tank is wider, so that's our toilet tank. We have to let all the solids pass through. So that's closed and closed. So when we get, when we're finished up at an RV park, we have our sewer hose hooked on right here, hooked into the septic system. What we do first is we pull this black tank valve, let all the sewage from the toilet come out, and then when that's done emptying, we close it up, and then we open up our gray tank. That's our soapy water, like our kitchen sink, bathroom sink, and our shower. So we kind of clean out our hose and our pipe. You always have to let these guys fill up, and then you dump them. You can't leave them open all the time. And then our sewer cap just has to be on every time this thing is on the road. Right here we have our square 4x4 inch bumper. So this guy, if we just pull this cap out, this is where we put our sewer hose while we're traveling, so we don't have to get our compartment all nasty. Right up top there, that's our prep for a backup camera system. So if you wanted to get a backup camera, you can, that's where we would mount it. Right out here in this compartment, we have our electric mini fridge. Nothing too crazy, it's a mini fridge. And then our switch right here. So we have two switches on here, one right here and one up front. So these guys bring down our stabilizer jacks. So these guys just level out, or they stabilize the RV. They're not leveling the RV. So after they come and touch ground, that's when you want to stop. Right here, this is where our rack for our grill that comes with this RV goes. It has a long bar sets on top, and then it makes a little table so you can put your grill on top. And then when you have the grill on there, you have an extra propane hose that goes from the grill. It goes right down here, and this is our quick connect propane. So the propane from up front runs back to here, so we don't have to worry about taking any extra bottles with us when we go out camping. You just plug the hose in right here, and it runs off your tanks up front. All right, so this guy's our black tank flush. So this is an extra step in our dumping process. When you have the black tank and it's ready to dump, you pull the valve open, let all the sewage come out, leave that valve open, and then you get a separate water hose, come over here, tie it in, shoot water through this guy, and it goes straight into our black tank to clean it out. Now you want to leave your black tank valve open, otherwise where's the water going to go? So you have to have this open, or have the black tank valve open when you're using this guy. Then after you see it starting to run clear, you think you did a good job cleaning out your tank, you can take water off of this, and then you go close up the black tank valve, and then open up the gray tank. So just a little extra step in between. And one of the most common questions I get asked is, should I do that every time? Yes, that's the best thing you can do for your black tank. You don't want any little poop mountains building up in there. Right here is our furnace exhaust. One upgrade I would get for these guys is a little $15 bug screen cover. It just goes right over top, because bees, hornets, wasps, and mud daubers, they love that smell of propane, so they can fly in here, and when they do that, they become a big problem. So right here's where we fill up our onboard water tank. So if we're not going to be at an RV park, or if we have a couple days trip in front of us, we can put a hose right in here and fill up our onboard tank, which we have water in right now. And this guy, here's our water heater. We basically have to do nothing out here. We just have to make sure that this switch is on to the line. And then other than that, we control everything inside. Tankless. Yeah, tankless on-demand hot water. As long as you have water and propane, you have hot water. Alright, so right here's to fill our freshwater tank. Now to drain our freshwater tank is actually that red line, that red hose hanging down. So, you always want to have your freshwater tank as dry as it can be. We've had some RVs come in and they've had water sitting in their freshwater tank for a year, and then they get some mildew and mold and stuff building up in there, and that's the last thing we want. Alright, so always keep your freshwater tank as dry as it can be unless you're using it. Right here we have one of our outdoor speakers, outdoor power. So on a nice day, you can roll out the awning, plug your phone in to charge it. And up here we have our other Bluetooth speaker. Right here's our same switch for our stabilizers. Now you'll notice one side's going down, and then after that hits the ground, this other one will start going. And don't worry if you see the foot getting all at an angle, these feet are adjustable. In our pass-through compartment, little box is for that grill holder. Big box is our griddle. Here's that extra propane line that we hook in the back. And then this guy, so what's really cool about these electric tone jacks is if let's say we're at a truck stop and our jack is wanting to go up or down. We can peel up this little tab right here, and then we can manually crank our jack. Alright. And then right here is our control panel. So this is basically where we do everything for the RV. Right here's our tank levels. So our freshwater tank, we have 1/3 of a tank full. That's the most you ever want to drive with, because water's heavy and it sloshes back and forth. Our black tank is empty and our gray tank is empty. When our tanks get up to this third line, that's when you want to empty them. So that way you don't have any smell coming up. We also have our battery level. It's fully charged. It's a brand new battery, and we're getting charged from being plugged into our outlets here. Interior lights, most of our ceiling lights are on the press of a button. Exterior lights, that's our LED light strip along the awning. And since we're using water from our freshwater tank, we have to use our water pump for pressure. We only use this if we're using our fresh tank. If we're at an RV park, use the city water connection. And then right here, we have our awning controls and our slide out controls. So for our awning, press and hold extend, and then the awning goes out 8 feet. Two ways of knowing that our awning is all the way out. There's a shiny roller tube. When you see that shiny roller tube, that's when you know to stop. Now typically, there's a flap that comes down. Right now the flap is stuck up against the rest of the canvas. So we retract it, bring it in a little bit. And that flap came down. Not all the way down, I guess.
Keep rolling back in.
There we go. So, when this flap comes straight down, that's when you want to stop. Otherwise, you can start rolling it up backwards, and that's the last thing you want to do for this awning. And the neat thing about these new RVs is if you get the Lippert Connect app, you can Bluetooth this control panel to your phone, so you can actually see all of your tank levels, turn your lights on, and I believe you can take your awning in and out and your slab in and out. Alright, so for our entertainment center, we have a solid backer right here. So if you wanted to get a TV, we can get an RV TV mount and drill it in right here. The reason I say get an RV TV mount is if you get a traditional household TV mount, the screws are bigger so they can poke through the other side. And they're not built for the vibrations of driving. RV TV mounts are. Power hookups for your TV, and then this is hookups for the cable, which you saw in the compartment outside. We also have an open air antenna on here, so wherever we're at, we can always get their local TV stations. And then right here we have our radio. All right. Volume control, volume down, volume up. So this guy is Bluetooth, AM, FM. We have a USB port right here. We have an HDMI port, so for watching TV, you can get an HDMI cord and plug it in right here, and you can get the sound through our speakers. Then zone 1 is here inside. Zone 2 is outside. So we can have them both going at the same time or one or the other. Alright. Then we have our electric fireplace here. So if you guys don't want to use your propane running the heater, this guy's a really good solution for heating up this area right here. Because he only has vents right here as opposed to our heater for the whole RV. It goes throughout the whole entire RV. Right here we have our buttons. Of course we have our power button right here. The light bulb changes up the color of the rocks, and then the stack right here changes up the brightness. And right now we have no heat coming from this, so we have it just for the looks. If you wanted to get heat coming from the fireplace, see that display right there in the corner? You set the temperature above what it's at right now. So right now I have it set at 85 degrees, it's 77 in here. So that's pumping out some serious heat right now, just like that. 4-hour sofa to recline the chairs. We just pull back, and if we have some extra guests coming with us and we want to make a regular bed, boom, we just pull it down. So we got some water, and that water's starting to heat up. We have the hot water heaters working. Right here we have our stovetop. So if you want to show off, you know, you have some people coming over and you want to make it look pretty, you can press this button and it lights up our knobs. So this guy's our igniter. He only rotates one way. So I get the burner over to high. We have too much airflow in here. Let's see. Here, we'll let the propane run a little bit. It has to fill up the lines. So
we'll come back to it.
Yeah, we'll come back to it here in a second. Right here we have our light and our cooking fan. So if we're cooking some good food in here, gets a little smoky, turn the fan on, vent it outside, and make all the neighbors jealous. Right here we have a microwave. It's a regular microwave, nothing too crazy about it. It might just be a little smaller than you're used to, but you can still put a whole dinner plate in there. And right here we have our all-electric refrigerator. So these guys are really nice because they will run off your onboard battery. So you get about 8 to 10 hours with just the refrigerator running off of your battery. Right here, this is where we set our temperature controls. So press the set button and it moves up. So 5 is the coldest, 1's the warmest. You just press the set button to cycle through, or if you want to turn the refrigerator off, press and hold for 10 seconds. And then you'll see the lights start to come on. Then on our freezer, we have our temperature control in the back of the freezer, right? And then this little guy right here just locks the door so no food's falling out while we're driving. Right here, this is the control panel for our water heater. So turn it off, turn it on, and then right here we set the temperature to what we want it. So the highest these go is 124 degrees. So when we're running the water, it'll start getting up to 124 degrees. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can change it up into Celsius. Right here's our thermostat. So right now we're on cool, so we have our air conditioner going. We cycle through the furnace for the heat, off, and then fan. Right here, this is where all of our breakers and fuses are. So right here we have all of our breakers labeled from the manufacturer, so you don't have to read my horrible handwriting. And then we also have our standard RV and automotive blade fuses. So I'd get an assorted pack or a pack of 15 amp fuses to keep on hand, and we have them all labeled. The nice thing about these new RVs is if you blow a fuse, let's say we blew this one, a red light lights up next to this fuse, so you know which one is bad. All right, into the rear bedroom. Of course, we have all these nice bunks in here, and this guy comes out into a bed, and also has some extra storage underneath for some extra bedding. All right, we have a TV location right over here. Let's see. I believe the TV would go on this wall right here. And then, yeah, regular TV hookups. And then we also have an emergency exit back here. So we raise up our blinds, push this guy. So this guy has a little notch behind it. So if we want to just have regular airflow, we just have the notch. But in the event that we do have an emergency, we push this guy all the way through, and then we pull this red tab, and that takes the screen out. And then we dive out, and we get to safety. All of our lights in here are push button, right in the middle. Oh, and we have some USBs, so you can charge your phone while you're sleeping. I think it's just the two.
Is this two?
Yep. All right, now into the restroom, or as my dad liked to call it, his office. All right, we have our plastic toilet right here. So with the plastic toilets, no abrasive cleaners, no common, no dust cleaners, just liquid toilet bowl cleaner, and no rough brushes for scrubbing. If you need a brush, get a really fine, soft bristle brush. Now, if we're gonna be using the toilet in here, halfway down on the foot flush to add water, just like a normal toilet does. And then you do your business, and then all the way down is to flush. Now this is also where you put your black tin chemicals, which I would use every time we go on a trip. Let's say we're leaving on Friday. We come out here, do our checks, make sure everything is working on Wednesday. I'd put some black tan chemicals in there before we even start the trip. So while we're using the toilet, those chemicals are always working. And then depending on the chemicals you go with, they have different amounts that you have to put in here. But this is the only access to the black tank from inside. With our shower, so we have our regular hot and cold knobs. But if you want to save water, let's say we're using our fresh water tank, we have a limited supply. Click this head and it shuts it off at the knob. There you go. And then right above we have our fan right here. Every time we shower, open this fan up and there's a little button right there to turn your fan on. We have to get the humidity out of the restroom because these are very thin walls. Other than that, we have a nice regular sink and a good sized medicine cabinet and toilet paper holder. All right. So being brand new, being brand new, you get all the warranties that come with it. So these guys have a 1-year bumper to bumper warranty. That's the tip of the ball to the back of the bumper. Everything's covered under the first year. Now these guys also have a 3-year structural warranty. So this guy has a wood frame on it. If any of those wood studs give out on you in the first 3 years, you cover it under warranty. And these guys have a 10-year roof warranty. Part of that 10-year roof warranty is you have to do your own little maintenance on it. So every 3 to 4 months, you just go out there, do a visual inspection, make sure everything looks okay. If you notice something's not looking right, take a picture of it and write it down somewhere. And every time you go up on the roof to check everything out, always keep a log. So that way, year 7 or 8 comes around, if you have that detailed log of everything you've done with it, you can bring it back to us. We'll send it out to Coleman and they'll warranty it out for you, no problem. So a lot of people hear 10-year roof warranty, I don't have to worry about it for 10 years. Well, year 7 or 8 comes along, they haven't done any maintenance on it. There's a big old crack down the middle of their roof. They haven't done any work to it. Coleman doesn't want to warranty stuff out that the customers don't take care of. All right. Now the final thing, we have our dining area. Also folds into a tent. So with this guy, we take the tabletop off, take the legs out. Now we have bumpers right here. We also have 2 on the other side. So with this tabletop, we just rest the tabletop on those bumpers. After we have the tabletop in there, then these back 2 cushions make the rest of the bed. Now it's not going to fit perfectly the first time because these are still brand new. So they have to get worn down first. So the more you use them, the more it will sit perfect. You can drive with it down, you can drive with it up. It doesn't have any consequence either way. Alright. Let's see if we have... Oh, I've turned off the propane up front.
That's how it is?
Yes. Alright, let's see if we have juice now. Yep. So, remember our igniter rotates one way. So I have the burner on high. So we'll do this burner next. Have it on high, and then we just click this and it lights up. Now the oven's a little trickier on this guy. Listen. So I like to have, to get the oven lit on the far right knob, that's our oven knob. We have to have it on the flame and then press the knob in, and then right here in the middle, in the very back, you'll see a little spark, and that's where our igniter is. So you might have to click a few times. All right, so you see that little blue flame back there? So keep holding on this knob for about 5 seconds. And then after about 5 seconds, you can take your hand off the knob, little blue flame stayed lit, and then we adjust the temperature on the knob. And then it lights up the rest of the oven. All right. I think that's everything. All right, we have it completed. So, in the bedroom, with our sliding doors, always keep these guys locked while we're traveling, because we don't want these guys slamming back and forth. So you just got to push the little button snap on here. All of our lights in here, again, are push button. And then we have USB ports on both sides. And then we also have a power outlet down here and a power outlet on the other side. And we also have a lot of storage underneath too. A lot of extra storage. Good sized shirt closets and TV hookups. So we have a solid backing right here for a TV in the master bedroom. And we also have the same emergency exit up front as we do in the rear. I think that's it. That covered all the bases that I have. Congratulations, you guys.
Thanks, Alan.